I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. This is one of my favorite cigars in the whole wide world. This is that Pappy Van Winkle barrel fermented cigar. Fantastic. Oh, Kentucky Fire Cured tobacco in the Perique process. We're going to talk about that. Mexican San Andreas tobacco, Indonesian tobacco, just deliciousness and awesomeness. The unctuousness in this is fantastic. If you never had one, go get you one. All right? I'm going to tell you. If you have had one, you hadn't had one in a while, go get you another one because it's worth remembering. The fullness, the dried cranberries, the cedar, the smoky, oh my gosh, this thing is just, it hits so well. And one of the things that makes this amazing and separate from so many other cigars is this right here. If you notice, let me pull that back. Just pull that back. You can see it clear as day now. This cap is different than the rest of the cigar. Why? That's the magic. This, let me introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tapa Negra. That's right. Infused upon infused. Kentucky Fire Cured. They take this tobacco from Kentucky. They pull it off stock cut. They cut the whole plant off. They flip it upside down. They put on these spikes. They hang it up in the barn. And they allow it to dry. But what they do is they take in the bottom of the barn, they cover the bottom of the barn with big thick slabs of hardwoods reclaimed from a local sawmill. And then they take and they cover it with about 2 or 3 feet of shavings, mulch, chopped up pieces from that same lumber yard. They waller holes about the size of a number 2 wash tub, about every 15-20 feet. Then they go in there and they start a big bonfire with some of the other wood, and they bring in these coals. And this barn is, God, 60-80 feet tall. It's a football field long, half football field wide, huge thing. They take these coals and they put them in each one of those little divots, some little number 2 wash tub spots. And they allow it to smoke. And the look of it looks like the barn's on fire. And it's just smoking. And it'll smoke and smolder for a week, 2 weeks like that. Infusing this tobacco with this smoke essence. Then they'll clear everything out of the bottom. They'll load it back up and they'll do it again. It's a double smoke process. They use that tobacco for KFCs. And for other cigars. Swampy. But then they take it a step further. They go down to see Mark Ryan, Louisiana, Perique Parish, or the La Poche Parish. They do what's a Perique process. They take this tobacco that's already been infused with that smoke, and they put it in these Pappy Van Winkle barrels. This little sloshy's got a little bit left in it. And they fill that up with this tobacco. They just cram it full. 500 pounds of tobacco in this thing. Then they use these huge railroad jacks. I mean, ginormous railroad jacks. And they put it under pressure and they squash it down. And that intense pressure, and the tobacco fermenting, and the humidity and the environment that it's in Louisiana, it causes it to be the Perique process. Now, it's not Perique tobacco because Perique tobacco has to come from La Poche Parish. And this comes from Kentucky. But they do the same process. They push it down, squash it down, and every once in a while they'll flip that thing over so that it just, the bubbles and the ooziness of the goodness. Oh, I've been down there. I've smelled those barrel houses where the smell is just, it smells like the best fruitcake you've ever had. Dried cranberries, dried cherries, and that transitions into this. And so you get that flavor on your lips. which marries so well with the rest of the tobacco. It is just unctuous and delicious. Oh my goodness, it is so good. And then when you smoke back, all the way back to where you're getting to this line, as soon as you get in there, it just becomes a whole different cigar. You get this fullness, this smokiness, this deep cranberry, dried cherries, raisins, golden raisins, figs. Oh, it's so good. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing this with your first one. But after you've had a couple under your belt, set fire to this end. Smoke from this end, safari style. You're going to get that punch, that unctuousness in the very beginning full as it draws through this cigar. And it changes the flavor profile to the next level. Now, some people say they don't like it because it's just too much. But me, oh, that's my jam. That's the way I love to smoke it. I smoke more Pappy Van Winkle safari style than I do regular style. But I'm on a video. I'm not doing a safari style video. I'm doing a video with you. So I want to smoke it the way that you'd smoke it so I could tell you what it tastes like. What it tastes like is delicious. Oh, I can't go on enough about that dried berries, cranberries, raisins, figs, unctuousness, fruit cake. So good. So good. Now, if you just want a very light cigar, this isn't it. If you want a cigar that doesn't burn well, this isn't it. If you want a cigar that doesn't give you out any smoke, Bubba, this ain't it. But if you want a cigar smoking experience where when you're done, you're like, man, I am glad I spent my time. The limited time I have to spend to myself, the limited resources I have to spend on myself, I am glad that I invested in me for an hour and a half to 2 hours, because this was an investment that pays dividends. And that dividend is great flavors, great memories, and a little bit of peace. Lord knows we need it. Lord knows we ought to take it, because if you don't take peace for yourself, everybody will take it from you. So take your moments, take your peace, and enjoy your cigar. And if you want a cigar with these kind of experiences, grab you one of these Pappy Van Winkle barrel fermented. You won't be disappointed. Let me know what you think when you have one. I'd love to know. I'm going to go finish my day, and I'll see you later. You know what? I love you. I really do. I'll see you later. Later, Tater.